seduction, sex, lifestyle. For the true player at heart, Global SLR presents The Real Kings of Pickup. Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Be the best and fuck the rest.
Welcome to the Real Kings of Pickup podcast, gentlemen. This is the actual live version where we have callers with us from all around the world who get to ask their questions. We're on every week since 2004, but this is a new updated version of it. And it's a true blessing that my spiritual brother is with us, constantly reinventing, redefining himself, and a pioneer like no other. He's the man I turn to for advice myself, Arash motherfucking Dibazar. How are you, Arash?
Hey, brother, I'm feeling very, very good. It's funny, last night for about 4 hours, I had the most severe stomach flu. I thought I was dying. And then suddenly, just as quickly as it came, it completely lifted off of me. And I'm still kind of in a slight bit of confusion about what the fuck happened. I was so sick, I thought about going to the hospital, and then I was completely fine in a matter of one moment. Who knows what the fuck happened there? But I'm ready to go.
On my side, I'm about to head for the East Coast, Washington, D.C., this week, and then New York for the following week. Here's an important realization, gentlemen. A lot of the guys that I knew from back there, because I visited for the first time over 10 years ago, they seem to no longer be in touch with their progress. And it's understandable that someone may reinvent themselves, and it's a constant evolution. We don't always have to do the same thing the same way. But it's important to continue to grow, to not settle. So anyone who's on the East Coast who are about to resurrect the pickup community in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. So make sure that you come and visit. There'll be a lot of free talks. At the same time, we're ready to take your questions. I had to mute a few lines for sound quality. So make sure that if you're in a place where the sound's in the background, you mute your lines. And we're ready to take questions. Say what city you're calling from, your name. Some of the lines, I won't be able to unmute them because there's still too much sound in the background. So meanwhile, go ahead. Who's going to ask the first question of the evening?
I got a question.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, it's a little bit loaded, but my question is, first of all, it's all in a state of mind. What is that state of mind, A? And B, do you particularly, let's say if you like a girl, and for example, she's blue hair, blonde eyes type of thing, and has nothing in common, with your reality and where you live in her reality, what is the state of mind that you go for? For example, I was putting my little nephew to sleep when his state of mind was very agitated. He is 2, and I realized in order to put him to sleep in his bed after his mother failing, I realized that I have to bring my state of mind into a very calm level so that can resonate with him. Now, what is, when I know Arash always says it's all in a state of mind, what is a state of mind, for example, when you go and approach a girl? What a state of mind should you resonate?
Well, since you mentioned state of mind, and I know Arash says it's all in a state of mind, I'm going to pass it to Arash for him to define state of mind and then help you clarify your question a little bit.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. This is the first of 7 alchemy laws states that it's a mental universe. And should you fully understand that, you have the secret to life. So that's kind of like what you're asking me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a concise answer that will help. And why you're asking me, what does it mean it's all in a state of mind? Well, here's what it means. The question you asked me right now, and your desire to find the answer, and how you're going to process the answer I give you as I'm giving it right now. Okay. All of that has everything to do with your state of mind. So it's all in a state of mind. How right now, everybody on this call takes advantage of this hour that Vince and I are putting in here. Let's say there's 100 people online with 100 different states of mind, how they're approaching it in their mindset, how they're thinking about it, what their beliefs are, what they want to do with it, how much they're going to invest in it. Based on their state of mind, their experience will be that. That's why it's all in a state of mind. In regards to what state of mind should you be in when you approach the woman?
Mm-hmm.
For me, and there's going to be different ones out there, okay? You ask me the question, I'll give you my answer.
Yeah.
For me, is a dominant, warm, playful state of mind. But dominant has to be there, warm and playful have to be there. And if you could capture all three of those, of course, if you keep adding and make them into smaller sub-categories. But if you're dominant, when you approach a woman, and she sees that you're a dominant man, and she sees that you're playful and you're warm, which means you have emotions that are not going to harm her, then you will do very well. Now, of course, there's 1,000 other things I can add, like non-needy, like not being reactive, like being able to listen, on and on and on. But those three, if you're lacking in playfulness, you won't do very well. If you're not warm and friendly, you won't do very well. And if you're not dominant, you won't do very well, or you won't do as well as you are. So that's a very concise answer on my side.
That's very great. That hit the spot. I appreciate it.
Great. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think we're ready to take the next question then. That was a perfect answer. So who's going next? Go for it. Yes, Paul.
Yes. Last week you challenged me to ask a question rather than how do I do something. So I've actually come up with an adjustment to one of the exercises on just getting the number. So rather than having the element where you have to close and get her number, how about doing an exercise where I have to get her to get my number?
That's a deviation, Paul. Okay? And that's going to lead me into sharing something very essential with everyone. Because we are dealing with human beings, and you can categorize human beings, but never perfectly know exactly what they're going to do. That means there's quite a bit at stake. It could go in any direction. We tend to want to avoid having to face the possibility that a woman might dislike us, up to a point where it will even affect us in our learning. So you got to be mindful of the pitfalls that are common when you're learning. One of them is what Paul is doing right now. Instead of taking on the exercise and going full force with it, you can always fine-tune it once you master it. Starting to deviate, and without the answer, give yourself the assignment like you're the teacher. So for you, I go back to the opposite, which is you have to focus more on taking yourself to that place where you throw out there the idea of being in touch and you give her complete freedom to answer whatever the fuck she wants, and you learn how to be independent of her answer, so it becomes easier for you to throw it out there a sufficient amount of time so you find women that are more ready. Another pitfall is if you are thriving with something, you probably can trust your instinct. But if you are struggling with something, you should practice contrary action. Meaning, the moment you have an idea, oh, maybe I should do it this way, do it the opposite. Okay? And it's about how often you come back to that center point of facing the possibility that the woman may not approve of it, not like it, not get it, not participate, or not continue. And the more immune you are to that, the better you will do. I tie it back with the idea of mindset, my own personal mindset, to be fully independent. I don't like to attach myself to only one option. So I am freely welcoming two extreme options. It'd be wonderful if the woman gets me and goes along with it, but it's equally beneficial if she doesn't, so I'm unbound and I can freely express whatever the fuck I want, and then I can utilize. So it's a triad. On one hand, I'm committed to the outcome, my growth, what I want, providing pussy for myself. On the other hand, people are free, so I'm independent from whatever their response, actions, or choices might be, and on top of it, the top of the pyramid, I will use whatever they give. All right, Paul? So watch out. Remind yourself, don't deviate. Meanwhile, Arash will take the next question. So which one of you gentlemen is going to ask the next question?
It's Mitch from Baltimore. Question is this. Yesterday, a woman had a conversation. She said that, a woman and I had a conversation. She said that she didn't like the way I touched her uninvitedly. I didn't do anything malicious, but that's what she said. And she said that she thought that I liked her, but she just wants to be friends. And I talked to her about it. I explained to her that friendship, just the reason that men and women can't be friends at times, or it's hard, is because there's a lack of respect from the woman to the man. It's an area I'm a little bit fuzzy on, and I just like some clarification from you men about that. Why is it difficult? Her perspective, it's very doable for men and women to be just friends without any problems. But I know you men have talked about this before, and that's you feel otherwise. Please explain.
Yeah, there's different views in the world about this. I stand quite firm on mine. I have so many interactions with women every day. Again, after this phone call, there will be a new woman arriving here. And I'll give you guys my perspective. First, let me start with you, Mitch. Would you honestly be able to be just friends with that woman? Yes or no? Only friends, nothing sexual. If you knew,
I could.
You could, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's where you and I differ. I cannot. So let's say that she feels that you guys can be just friends, and you feel that you guys can be just friends, right? Now we have two people about to interact with each other, and between them, an agreement is made, which is, let's say she truly feels it. I can't say if she does. I can't say if she doesn't. But she said she does. Fine, we'll go with it. And you, I believe you when you say, okay, I can be just friends with her, nothing sexual. Fantastic. So now, after that, if I think men and women can't be friends, it's irrelevant because you, as an adult male, have made your decision that you can be friends, and she's made her decision she can be friends also. However, I'm confused now because if you could just be friends with her, then why does she feel the need to tell you that she just wants to be friends? What is the signal you sent that was either misunderstood by her or properly understood by her? Why would she feel the need to tell someone who can be just friends with her that let's just be friends? How can you explain that?
Well, I did say, and that's one of the things I'm working on, I did send mixed signals. I was actually interested in being more than just friends, and I was being indirect. I was being indecisive.
Yes, I got it. Okay, so then...
Now, I realize that it's a choice. Either at this moment you be just friends or nothing. I would choose the former. That's why I said what I said. Yeah, I don't want to kick her out of my life.
I see. Is that because there is a slight hope that one day you will be more than friends, or are you okay to be just friends for the rest of your life with her? If you knew you had no chance of ever having anything sexual with her, would you still want to be friends with her? What if she provides for you? Yeah, okay, great. So if that's the case, right, again, for me it's not, if that is the case for you, then it's very simple in handling. I initiate some kind of sexual contact. She says, hey, I just want to be friends. And I look at her and I say, okay, cool. Now I get it, that's where you are, and I'm totally okay with that. So I think we should just be friends. And if I said that, and I meant it, as you say you do, then that should truly resolve the situation in that she should feel my sincerity, and I say, oh, hey, okay, no worries. You know, I did find you, I do think you're attractive, but I get where you're coming from, and I think that men and women can actually be friends, and it might be kind of refreshing to be friends with you. Okay, perfect. Let's move forward as just friends. I'm totally okay with that. So that's the handling I would do for it. However, I personally cannot be just friends with girls, and that's why I'm at for the end.
Well, that's what I don't get, Arash. You encounter a lot of women. Do you want to sleep with every single one of them? I mean, what if they're not attractive? Do they have value aside sex in your life?
No, unless they either are, you know, let's say they're a student of mine, right? A student of mine is paying my academy, and then at that moment, sorry guys, I have to walk in here for just a second. It was loud out there. At that moment, she has exchange with me. But we're talking about a situation where she has actual exchange. So if the exchange is there, yes. If she just wants to be friends, no. I have no desire to be friends with a woman. She doesn't provide me with anything that I want at that moment.
Okay.
Mitchell, I got a couple of questions for you, and I want to give some ninja stuff right here, okay? First,
absolutely,
is it a brand new woman that you just met, or is it a woman that you had known for some time?
A woman that I've known for some time.
Okay, there you have it. With people that you already know, they're usually going to have a little bit of a challenge with you shifting on them, because we dislike it when people shift on us. You know, if you thought somebody was your friend and suddenly they tried to get you into multi-level marketing, you go, wait a minute, I thought this was different, okay? So you need to be mindful of that and perhaps announce it and say, you know, you and I, we've known each other for quite some time. And I don't know, I always had a little something for you, but now it's at a point where I have to be honest with you. Use the word I have to be honest with you, honest. And I think that on my side, at least, I would want more. But we don't have to rush into anything. I just have to tell you, I think you're cute. So right there we understand the challenge, because if she knows you a certain way and suddenly you shift on her, that's not cool. Also at boot camps, and I will drill with that with you again in DC, it's important that you don't go from 0 to 100. You know, that's what average guys will do. They're talking with a girl, they're under the radar, they're as indirect as can be, and suddenly they try to make their moves. Okay? So that's creepy. You want to make it either from the start, from the get-go, or a little more gradual. Okay? So there, it's no surprise. Avoid shifting on women, and you probably had a secret crush on her. Now, my take on is it okay to have female friends? You have to be honest with yourself. And the level of honesty that most of us think is honesty is not truly honesty. And we're not talking honesty just like revealing all secret information to strangers. We're talking about self-honesty. Because it's easy to think, oh, no, I just like the person as a friend, when maybe the real reason is that we're lonely and we're craving a little company. And if we had many other options, which we do, but if they were already present, we may not spend time with that person. Now, I remember in my 20s, I had a couple of female friends that you would have given me 5, 6 hot babes. I wouldn't want to see them anymore, but they were convenient in moments when I was lonely, when I was lacking physical contact. And, of course, when we come from the frame of maybe she's the one, we quickly will sell ourselves into the idea. So if I were you, I would pause for a moment. And it's beautiful that you ask us, but ask yourself also, all right, where did that really come from? Because most men who said, oh, yeah, I'm okay having a female friend, if they really dig deeper, they will realize, no, they're just responding to an unmet need for connection, an unmet need for affection, an unmet need for attention. And to some degree, it's healthy, for as long as you're aware of it, you know. In my database of women, I have women that are extremely sexual. They're sexually crazy, adult film stars, strippers, or just crazy chicks, so if I want to fuck, I can call on them. That's what they do best. No big deal. No strings attached, but we have fun, and it's a quick reach. I also have women with whom I can feel something a little deeper, a connection. And all the way down the scale, I also have women that if for whatever reason, one night I'm super busy working, I don't want to waste time with any of the ones that I would fuck or do something with that's more significant. So I just quickly send them a little text, and I'm clear in my own mind. Okay, I'm just going to feed my need for connection so I can then relax and do the other things I have to do. Okay, but here's the ninja stuff. Real quick, then we take the next question. I just ran into a girl. I was at Walgreens by my place, and first, the funny thing was that I opened her kind of the same way I did about 2 months ago, and I'm so busy with so many women, I forgot to contact her. She didn't have my number, and when I realized it, I went, wow, see, now we know this is true, because I've already, I said pretty much the same thing to you when we first met. And then I tell her straight up, I said, and just in case, if some women are a little naive, I don't know you, but I'm talking with you because I am indeed kind of flirting. I would have to know you more, but let's be straight up. Okay? Last ninja thing is it helps in my resource Beyond Hypnosis. I talk about finding a general understanding that everybody would agree with to begin to open the door to a deeper understanding, another type of understanding that most people would not be very familiar with. So right there, the one that I use, if she goes like, oh, no, I think it's absolutely fine to have, for a woman to have a male friend. I go, of course, for you, a chick, it is. Hey, the same way, it's absolutely fine for the boss to get the employees to work over hours 7 days a week. Yeah, that's really convenient for the company, for the employee. It's a different deal, Women have to understand that we wire differently. So there you can open the door. All right? So this is really exciting. We have about 20 minutes left, gentlemen. Who is taking the next question for Arash? Please,
I have a
not
question.
everyone at the same time. Okay, one person. What is your name, city, and what would you like to ask Arash?
Yeah, I'm Jason from Sunnyvale. My question is, how persistent should you be with a girl that you're interested in? Because sometimes I feel like some girls want to be sort of chased down a little bit, is what I've noticed. So I was wondering, like, how persistent should you be before it's time to just let the person go?
Okay, a few questions before I answer, Jason. How long have you been studying pickup seduction game?
I've been studying for about maybe 5 years.
5 years. You're in Sunnyvale, California?
Yes.
Okay, good. Have you been to my office here in San Jose?
No, I have not.
Okay, so how long have you known about me being about 15 minutes drive from you?
I've known about it, but it's just that I've been exposed to a lot of seduction material. I have not yet studied with seductive instinct, but I mean, I still kind of have these questions, but I'm not exactly sure how. I've been exposed to the material, but I mean, I've tried not to have so much of an analysis paralysis, whereas I'm reading too much and going out too little. So in the field, that's kind of one thing that I've noticed is that sometimes I see that they're interested, but they sort of walk away a little bit, and then I still persist a little bit, and I notice that a little bit more positive signals, basically. So
right, no, I get that, but you're not answering. My question is very specific. How long have you known that I was 15 minutes away from you? Since you've been studying for 5 years, how many of those 5 years have you known that I'm 15-minute drive to come and learn?
Yeah. I mean, I know that you're pretty close by.
3 years,
but,
3 years. No, how long have you known that?
Maybe 3 years, a year and a half or so.
Cool. Okay, so the answer for me, from my perspective, is very simple. you don't get an answer from me yet. However, Vince is in Los Angeles, and I'm sure he might be able to answer your question. So go ahead, Vince.
Okay, I detect a couple of things that will benefit everyone. The first thing is, make no mistake, you want a higher frame of mind. So the average frame of mind is, I have two options. One of them is, I study the thing, the material, and I end up studying on my own too much, so then I don't spend time in field. The second option is, well, I go spend time in field, but I don't study the material. That's average. A superior mindset would be, now I'm going to study everything that I can with all that I have, because in the end, I'm the one paying the price, and life will go by very fast. At the same time, I'm not caught in an either-or like the rest of the world. At the same time, I'm going to go out there and put it in practice as much as I can. So every time that I'm in front of a girl, what I heard and read will make more sense. And every time that I hear and read something, and I get to put it into practice, it will make more sense, and I'm going to hustle. 5 years is enough for a person, according to experts in the field of learning, to be number one in any field. So that means that you got to readjust how you go about it. For greater results, you need a greater approach. And the challenge for so many guys, and it's not easy to get it at first, is that they want extraordinary results and they approach extraordinary knowledge in an average manner. All those who lead the field, we have one thing in common. I was just with Hypnotica last week, Arash breaks all world records. Why? Because we hustle like no others. Okay? So you got to really go at it. It's not an either or. Everything that you have. You also need to know that what we offer is completely different. And I mentioned at the beginning of the call an interesting realization. About 5-6 years ago, I did some super conference in Washington, D.C. And there was a lot of local talent, the newest gurus in Washington, D.C. I was part of those who were putting together the convention. So as I'm going over there, I got excited and I thought, hey, let's call those guys. None of them is teaching anymore. In the end, it's a handful of guys who bring them to the GSLR that really have that as a vocation. For a lot of them, it's a quick fix, it's a phase, but no. Me, I'm unable to stop doing pickup because it's my passion, my mission, my vocation, and my dedication to make it easier for other guys. So the mindset is completely different because it is based also on resolving the struggle that those who study a little bit here and there end up having when they come to us. So the first thing, we're not looking with my system for girls that we're interested in. We're looking for girls that are interesting. For that, we need to put them to the test. And we notice what they do. We also, especially at first, don't bind ourselves to just a few options because that's not enough. So then, if you talk to more girls more often, longer, one system that you use to assess how long should you dedicate with that one girl that's not that responsive is based on time efficiency, meaning you have 20 girls and you have 2 or 3 that are doing quite well. You're not going to go waste time calling the one back that's not called you after 5 texts you sent. But if you don't have the numbers to get that going, you must first start by getting the numbers. So the answer is simple. And, honestly, you got to understand, if you're that close to Arash, I mean, there are guys who travel from a different continent, a different country to come see him. You got to do the little pilgrim. You got to go check it out. And sure, there's a lot of fears. There's a lot of, but you got to become that kind of man. And what I love most about all the amazing things that have come to be ever since I joined forces with Arash is that his perspective is above and beyond. And at first, you may not recognize it. but that's a good sign that it's above and beyond. And learning is a fair exchange in which if you want answers, you need to seek them. And if you seek them mildly, you're going to get little answers. And even if you get the answer, the full answer, you won't recognize it. So I would urge you, for me, it's a pilgrim. It's a seduction pilgrim when I go to San Jose. As a professional, as a senior in this community, every time I go visit Arash, it's just like, wow. And enjoy the journey also, gentlemen. It's the journey that makes the difference, Nothing like truly resolving. Nothing like a true commitment. I just decided to hire a personal trainer at the gym, and my schedule is a little too tight for me to have my full hour, and also I have restrictions with my lower back, so it's a bit of a baby workout that we're doing. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it. And just because of that, I'm feeling already that much better, that much more alive. Okay? So
right.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. But first, make sure you recommit, and the past does not equal the future. It doesn't matter how long you've been at it. What matters is, are you approaching it today? And you should ask yourself that question every day, everyone on the call. And then I pass it to Arash for an extended answer for the next question. Sorry, brother, that I'm taking a little extra time, but I will really clarify a few things. So,
yeah, it's all good.
You really know that you're growing. See, because presence is not sufficient of itself. Most people are at work every day. Are they growing? Are they learning? Are they becoming better at their job? No. Many of them are becoming worse because they develop a resentment, a little bit of an attitude. Oh, man, I have to work again. Oh, man, I've been at it for 5 years and I still don't have a girlfriend. So you really know that you're doing it when every day you answer the following question. Am I today more committed than I've ever been so far? And if your commitment is lesser today than yesterday, you're regressing. Am I today more open to possibilities than ever so far? And if you study a little bit with that guy here and there, or even some of the big names, and you didn't get the results all the way because it depends on the students a lot, then most likely today you're a little less open to the fact that it could work when you first had the initial glimpse. So you need to rekindle that. Today, everyone on the line, you should be more ready, more open, and how receptive are you? And how dedicated are you? And what length are you going to go? And length, gentlemen, make no mistake, is not just about going and attending the boot camp and so on. Length would be, okay, you got this brand new program. Are you willing to watch it, take notes, stand up, grab your phone, film yourself doing the best rendition of the exercise you just heard, watch it a couple times, correct it in front of the mirror, and then come and ask a question? Very few are willing to do that. And that's the first thing we need to correct if you want to be a champion. Champions pay a greater price. All right. So, Arash, I need to attend to the bathroom. May I pass you the next question? And since I went over a little bit time-wise, you're welcome to go over a little bit time-wise. Forgive me. All right? So we pass the next question to Arash.
When you come back, let me know you're back so I know you're back on.
I will.
Okay. Okay, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Ask your question, please.
Yeah, Rush, I have a question. It seems like I'm in a point of my life right now that I've been studying a lot. I have so much knowledge. I read so many books, audiobooks. It's not even funny. I read a few of the books beyond the game that you have, watched a lot of your videos, and I believe I'm pretty decent on the game. You know, at least I got confidence. I go talk to women. You know, I get by, you know, with my needs. But one thing that I realized has happened since I know so much about life, I've become almost in a stalemate, meaning that, you know, I gave up a few jobs that I didn't like and this and that. And, again, I'm on a stalemate in life almost because I feel like I know too much type of thing. How do what would your comment on that be, especially even choosing a career right now, knowing that I can do anything, but I don't want to do the things I want to do and the things that I always think about doing. It's like, oh, my God, the time that will involve and the transition that will take, the metamorphosis that I got to go through. You know, it's kind of, you know, almost scary. And, you know, when the needs and funds were not there, it seems like in your case, for example, you kind of grew up into doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and therefore, it's a great thing to grow up in. But when you grow up with parents that they kind of let you kind of not do anything, they put you down and put you up, and, what would a comment be on this?
Yeah, a few things to clear up. I didn't grow up in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was 24, but I grew up in martial arts when I was 11. That's one.
Okay.
I didn't have the support of family doing it any more than they paid for my lessons up until about 13 or 14. Then I paid for myself, and they told me I should quit, and they told me to go to college, and I said no, and they told me not to get tattoos, and I got tattoos. And my whole entire life has been nothing but a disagreement with what people and family have told me. And now at 39 years old, they seem to think that I may have possibly been right now, because until you make money, no one pays attention. When you make money, everybody pays attention. And that's the only thing that changed.
Exactly.
Nothing else changed. I've been doing the same shit I've been doing. So, the question is very, again, general and broad. And what's my comments on it? Well, if you say you now can do anything, right, that's a great statement. Now I want you to let's do an analogy. A person learns suddenly and realizes that they are capable of playing any genre of music, any level of music, or they can draw any kind of portrait or painting, and they go, my God, I am so fucking talented that I can draw anything or I can play any music. And you show up to their house and they're sitting there, and you say, okay, so where's the painting at? And they go, well, I mean, I can draw anything. So knowing I can draw anything, I'm kind of stuck because I don't know what to draw. And you say, okay, but you can draw anything. So yes, I can. Yes, I can. And then you say, then draw. And the person says, yeah, but I can draw anything. How do I decide what to draw? See, at that moment, the person is in an interesting situation. They're not being very sane about it. The proper answer is this. The person shows up, says, you can draw anything. Says, yeah. Said, draw. The person says, what do I draw? I said, doesn't matter. You know how to draw. Draw anything. As you start drawing, things will become clear. So for yourself, if you now have this ability to go and do things, then it's time to get out there and do things. And as you start doing them, you start noticing whether you like them or not. If you do, you'll continue and you'll be the best at it. And if not, you drop them and you move on to the next thing. So tremendous level of freedom in your hands. That's what it sounds like. Then with that freedom comes responsibility to take action, which is something that I also see with a lot of different fields, different areas. Once again, 3 weeks ago, I started a brand new field, a brand new activity. At 39 years old, I'm way, 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 way too old, according to conventional wisdom, to do what I've just started doing. However, my focus and my dedication is second to none. And I hired a personal trainer for bodybuilding. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's no joke. And yesterday, last night, he sent me a text message. And in his text message, he said, let me go through my phone here.
I'm back, by the way, Arash.
Great. So last night at 10:47 p.m., my trainer, after knowing me for 3 weeks, this is the third week, and remember, he's a champion bodybuilder way up there, he says to me, thank you, I get a random text that says, thank you for letting me do my job, champ. I have not had someone so dedicated in a long time, brother. I'm really excited to see the finished product. So that was touching for me because I just met him, and his fire is burning very bright now. So today what I did is I went back to my jiu-jitsu coach, and I haven't seen him for a couple of months, and I went to visit him, and I told him about my new goal, which is interesting because him and we used to make fun of bodybuilders all the time, and it's just kind of something that jiu-jitsu guys do because you're little, you're skinny, and you beat up big guys. And I was talking to him and, explaining why I made the decision and what I'm doing, and then I let him know how I translate my martial arts into weightlifting. And he was really into it as he was listening to me talk to him about the philosophy that he had taught me growing up. And I said to him, I'd like to read you this text message. So I read to him exactly what I just read to you now. And our conversation became so powerful and sacred and beautiful between my teacher and I, as he started to tell me, he said, ever since then, meaning me, since I haven't been training with him for a while now, like 4 or 5 years, he said, there's a lot of good students here. I know some of them. He goes, but none of them seem to be able to go all the way. He goes, it's like they see me swim the ocean all the way to the other side, And I see them think to themselves, yeah, I can do this, I can do this. He goes, then they get in the water, they go about halfway or 3/4 of the way, and they turn around and come back. And he goes, they never make it because of that. And I saw in him, once again, something that now I see in my new trainer, which is that when someone totally dedicates themselves to an art form, as I have, as Vince has, as many people you may know have that have reached the higher levels of their art, what happens is sometimes there's so many people that come around and they kind of learn, they kind of dedicate themselves, they do this and that, and they normally leave talking shit. But every once in a while, that one individual shows up that's totally dedicated, totally focused, and 100% committed. And when that happens, the instructor-student relationship, mentor-mentee, master-disciple, whatever words are, becomes so powerful and so sacred. Now, what I'm telling you to do is find something that you truly love, that you can't wait to go and do. And then in that, if you have all the freedom that you're saying you do right now, and I'm not saying you do or you don't, but I always say things as I don't know your experience. I go off of the words you're using. Then based on that, now you are free enough to explore your passions in life without being subservient or a slave to any other human being's opinions, because you know more now. That is the gift of knowledge. That is the gift of enlightenment, is that suddenly no longer do other people's opinions who have less knowledge than you or less wisdom than you affect you the same way. So if you're a brain surgeon, other people telling you, well, you know, the brain, you only use like 5% of it, and the frontal lobe is where, and you're shaking your head going, what the fuck do you know about the brain? When's the last time you saw a fucking brain? I operate every goddamn day on it. And so that surgeon can disregard that opinion while other people can get really heated about it and say, no, the frontal lobe, you got the cranium in the back, blah, blah, blah. So right now you're sensing a high level of freedom. That's great, but you need to take action. Everybody listening to this, you have to take action. Without action, it's nothing, okay? Then you might as well just sit and vegetate the rest of your life. Action, okay? That's my suggestion. Take action on the next thing, and hopefully you find your passions and you continue to get better and better, okay?
I appreciate it, Arash. Well said, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Very well said. It inspires something listening. Guys, you all know how much you love women. And you know how much you love women and sex and so on when it's right in front of you. I mean, when the girl is right here and she's naked and she's giving in, you know how much you love it. But for too many, it's bland with a lot of confusion and a lot of past challenges. So you got to understand that this will change, and for your full appreciation of how much fun it can be to do pure pickup, real pickup, not a polluted version of it where the major part of it is your own limitations blend with the traditional dating frame and a touch of pickup. Then you need to plow through to desensitize yourself, because you need to graduate from the mentality of wanting for it to be comfortable, wanting for it to be predictable, and wanting for it to go exactly as planned. The real mindset, state of mind, since we started with that today, is to be absolutely fine understanding that there's a small price to pay. If you are okay with opening your mouth and talking to a woman, and a minority might get a little weird. Once in a while you may hear, you're a little creepy, you're a little too fast for me, And then a bigger chunk of them are going to give in a little bit, but give out at the same time. Oh, okay, nice talking to you. We got to go. Oh, let's just be friends. And you're all right with that. And you understand it's not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that you're moving forward. Then it's going to lead you to those who are ready. It's never going to be easy. That's why it's a lifelong journey. We hear 100,000% for you guys who appreciate you calling. And I'm going to give a gold nugget. At the end of the call, I'm going to share with you guys my current way to go about gaming girls, okay? A unique distinction that is super advanced. And maybe Arash, you can do the same thing. Meanwhile, I just wanted to share with you guys an amazing news. With this new system that we have, we're going to alternate. We're going to release sometimes up to 2 podcasts a week. We will have this one on Mondays. The benefit is we're live with you guys. We can interact. You can ask any questions. And we will also have some pre-recorded ones with selected students who are really kicking ass. As a reward, they'd be invited to ask us personal questions, questions personally. And we have one that's coming up this Thursday that's already recorded on approach anxiety. So look for it. And then this one will be up. Call again every Monday. By the time this recording is out, most people are going to have missed the Washington, D.C. free lecture on Thursday this week, the 7th, and a 3-day boot camp down to one final spot. You get to spend 3 days with me in the Capitol, and it's the right balance between infield and drilling and so on. The week after that, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, free talk on the 14th. The other days, I'm in New York, and it's the only boot camp aside from Los Angeles and West Coast stuff. It's the only opportunity to see me this year on the East Coast. So even if you're in Canada or something, this is your chance. Jump on it, okay? And we also have, for anyone for whom this might be a little too last minute, if you cannot be the adventurer that will jump on it, we have Arash and I. We did it once and we're doing it again. It's very exclusive. It's a small group and it's basically nearly sold out. It's in May, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, if I'm correct, or it's the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the best location, our new home over there, the Wynn Hotel, with the Access nightclub, and we're going high, hardcore, high roller way, and there's an exclusive small group of guys that will be able to be there to learn pure pickup live. Many of you acquired the program, the home study course, Pure Pickup. So if you want to be able to experience Pure Pickup live, it's going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. And for those of you guys who are on the call, we're going to give you a little bit of a better offer than everybody else. I will mute the recording. Everybody else go to globalslr.com to know more about it. So meanwhile, here's my gold nuggets. Okay? At the core, any action that we take is either rooted in fear, a sense of lack, a sense of doubt, which makes us reactive. And reactive causes us to deviate from our own true course, and then it's no longer aligned with truth, and it comes across as fake, and it becomes more and more challenging. On the other hand, we can act from faith, opportunity, options, in a sense of abundance. It's not that we're only into one or the other. It fluctuates. So, a great way to assess if it's the right thing for you to insist with a girl or not, you got to ask yourself, or if you should be friends or not, where are you coming from? But it takes deeper examination, okay? Where are you coming from? And me, I have found an amazing balance which creates a synchronistic flow when I become very honest. So suddenly I go, you know what? I've been working hard. It'll be fun. I want to have fun. I want to fuck. So it's organic, it's awesome, and it happens fast. And then maybe I have sex once, twice, 3 times, and then the girl comes back and stays a little too long, and I slack off on a little bit of my better habits. Now I'm again into like a form of neediness. So when I notice that, almost like sex in and out, I pull back just a touch, but I pull back in a unique way where I continue to tease the girl. There are 3 girls who want to see me before I leave, and 2 more that are kind of new. So that's a total of 5 girls, and I have a night and a half because I'm busy half of the night tomorrow and majority of tonight to see 5 girls. So it's impossible. But nevertheless, I don't say, oh, you know, I'll see you when I come back because I'm tired, or I need to rest, I need to prepare. I go, oh, you make it so tempted. Oh, it's so tight. Oh, I wish I had 48 hours. But in my mind, I know, no, it's not going to happen. But I still give her hope that it may happen. And when I do that, like, for example, I had to prepare. I want to honor the guys fully on the East Coast. When I do that, then, boom, out of nowhere. Suddenly, I didn't go out on Friday nor Saturday because I was working. And boom, on Sunday, out of nowhere, the girl, I'm at Starbucks by your place. reply on my side, are you just teasing or you going to pop in? She goes, pop in. I go, good girl. And boom, she came over. Okay. But it's not for beginners, because for beginners, your thing is to know that 99% of what you're going to tell yourself when you're a beginner is a fucking excuse. 99% is a fucking convenient excuse. So if you're a beginner, you need one mantra is talk again, study again, and get real about it and get the coach. Arash, on your side, what gold nuggets would you like to share in conclusion?
Yes, that was great, Vince. Well, let me look at it like this. I think that if you took a look, there's two worlds I need you to consider, everybody. Now, if you listen carefully to what I'm telling you, this could potentially change your entire fucking life, okay? I'll keep it brief as I can. You got your internal world, how you think to yourself, how you talk to yourself, and you got the external world of how you talk to others, okay? And in your internal world, you must achieve an incredible, get this, an incredible, truly astounding, unbelievable level of respect for yourself. It starts there, okay? After you achieve that, and that is not an easy thing, I can tell you at 39 years old in this life, I feel that I may finally be there. And I say may because every time I think I'm somewhere, then there's new levels that come around, right? So by no means am I at the end of my journey, but I can say that I have an unbelievable, incredible, unreal amount of respect for myself right now, internally. Okay? Very important. After that, by the way, this is now my process of mentoring people, because I know if you don't have that, it doesn't matter what else you have, okay? They will break you, and they is whoever that tries to break you. And if you're talking to women, women will break you. That's their job, okay? They will break you. It's really funny, Vince. I told you maybe a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, I happened to meet this guy who's a Qigong master. He's a disciple of one of the greatest Qigong masters in China. He's a white South African man, and he speaks fluent Chinese, and he just happened to be massaging me because I do a massage. And the first thing he said to me after about a minute, he said, very few people, it's funny, he has like a South African Chinese accent, and he's a white guy. He says, very few people I've ever massaged breathe like you do. It started there. So today I saw him again. And today, when we finished, he said to me, he goes, I learned a lot from you. He's an older man. I said, well, thank you. But this here, what I'm telling you right now, is vital. What I'm telling you right now is vital. In that your respect for yourself has to be so high. After that, I'm telling you that because him and I were talking about yin-yang energies, right? And I'm giving him my understanding of male-female. He's telling me yin-yang, and we're talking the same exact language, which is fucking fascinating. He's a Qigong master. I'm a seduction master. Here we are saying the same exact shit from different worlds. And that's how you know, by the way, you have truth. Gravity is gravity no matter where you go, no matter what language you speak. So when you achieve this high level of respect for yourself, this unbreakable sense of respect and confidence inside, from there we go forward. And it's just the beginning then, because now you are starting where you should have started. From here, you will notice what I've noticed in myself, and now I have corrected fast. Go on my Facebook, everybody. I put up one of my texts today to this woman. And the next step happens is you'll notice that when you come across a woman, because that's the subject we're talking about, you will rapidly compromise your own self-respect just so she likes you. So the second step after you gain the self-respect is to stay consistent in that respect when you interact with the outside world and not just internally, okay? Once you achieve these two, where inside you have complete, utter, total respect for yourself, and you will not disrespect yourself. You just won't. No matter how you're enticed, you won't do it. And then outside, you then interact with the world congruently in the same fashion. Something magical takes place. the universe, God, whatever you believe in, then starts to interact with you differently. Now, I'm too new in this new world that I'm in, because it's a new power, to tell you what the ramifications of that are going to be. But I can tell you, so far, in this short amount of time, it's been incredible. So you must take a look at your questions and see that so many of them, if I just answered it from this perspective, whatever you ask today, anybody, whatever you ask, if I had said this to you, brother, you are allowing her to disrespect you, one. But on a deeper level, brother, you, when you check inside, are not respectful of yourself yet. And if you can't do that, you can't respect God. Because the closest thing you know is when you look inside. That's where you'll find it. So that's my little piece for you guys.
Wow, beautiful.
Somewhere. Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Arash, thank you so much. And I think that this same applies to being respectful of the gift of life and to know that you cannot waste it with excuses. You got to just dive into it and enjoy sex, love, romance. For those of you who are calling live with us, stay on the line for 2 bonus minutes. Everybody else, we will see you again next week and in the Beyond the Game group and hopefully at a live event soon. Thank you, everyone.
You've been listening to The Real Kings of Pickup with Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Brought to you by www.globalslr.com. Call live every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get your questions answered. Just dial 701-801-1220. Then enter 129-779-160, followed by the pound key. To get your free pickup starters kit, go to www.seductioncoaching.com now. And remember, stay sexy.